because we have been there before all they came. So what they need to do is to improve on their kind of play and avoid fright. You're going to Casablanca. A lot of them have not crossed Nigeria before, so it's a new thing for them. Yeah, so they may be having some stage fright and all that. If they have a psychology in the team, they can be able to calm their nerves and make them understand that there's 11 players. These girls can go very far. The group is a very tough group. We have the Babylon now. Those ladies are also good because they've been playing a lot of friendlies. And the South African league is really, really competitive. So, but then, with what these girls have, raw talent and grit, and they have a lot of strength in them, they can go far because the Egyptians don't have that strength. If we can maintain our game for the 90 minutes.
Well, for the coach, how key is the coach tactical awareness, knowing that the North African teams are very
tricky.
They've got a lot of antics up their sleeve against the South Africans. South Africans are our natural rivals.
Yes.
And it's going to be a tough one.
That's where the experience of the coach comes into play. I don't know who the coach is right now, but I think this thing should be drawn into his head, because see, the North Africans are very tricky because they don't have the kind of matter of strength, and so what they do is to follow the pitch, cause confusion for penalty, and because our girls are stronger, they can be going there to get red cards. Because one of the things that kills the team is if a player is sent off prematurely, the team is demoralized.
Takes time to
so these things, like, please be careful. We don't play with them because we are more stronger than them, but you see, mark them for one. And as much as possible, when you have the ball, shoot. Because the female footballer, I have seen that once you can shoot balls, you will score more goals, because most female goalkeepers don't know how to jump. So if you can have two strikers or two players that can take dead balls into the net, we will win. Because I've been watching lately, we have very few female goalkeepers that can actually dive for dead ball situation. Very few, except say in England. But in Africa, a lot of them don't know how to dive, and most of the goalkeepers are short. So if our players can look at the strength of their opponents, look at the height of the goalkeeper, look at that. See, that's why the tacticality has come in, and that's why we have to have some technical pep talks with the players. We're stronger than them, and so we must be very careful how we tackle them, because a little tackle may end a card. Then if they're in our own 18-yard box, you are careful how to tackle them, because you can get a penalty. But when you're out there attacking, you will be sure that you can take long dead balls. So because most times the keepers don't know how to recover very fast, and so our play should be as simple as possible. Play our midfield, play our wingers. We have the strength on the wings. Right. I just hope that the coach will be able to translate
this to Moses Aduku. We hope we'll be able to translate everything. As we wish Edo Queens the very best, and Coach Moses Aduku, your job is all cut out, and we hope you'll be able to come back with the trophy. That's wishing our girls Edo Queens the very best as they go for the Champions League there. All right, let's move on to Europe, where it's been a very interesting thing. Arsenal have had all shades of ill luck since the man Edu, their sporting director, decided to jump ship to Nottingham Forest. It was a very controversial first half penalty, saw Arsenal suffer a 1-0 defeat against Inter Milan in a setback to the Champions League campaign. Mikel Merino was penalized on the stroke of halftime for a handball after the ball struck the Arsenal midfielder from close range in the box, following a free kick by Hakan Calhanoglu, which he converted from the sport to give the Italian champions the lead at the San Siro. Mikel Arteta's side were unable to find an equalizer in the second half, with the Gunners suffering back-to-back defeat following their weekend loss against Newcastle. Do you think this is what we know about Arsenal? They start well, and at a point they begin to falter.
Arsenal has their Achilles heels is always in November November and February. That's been the challenge. But you see, the news of Edu didn't come at the proper time. And it came at a time we had to recover from injuries. Saliba's red card began this challenge. Saliba is the most confident defender we have. Whenever we have Saliba at the back, we are sure that the players will
You're
play.
an Arsenal fan.
I'm an Arsenal fan. So Saliba's red card caused a great psychological defect to the team, and so there was so much pressure on Gabriel Magalhaes, and because of that pressure on him so much, we couldn't. Gabriel Magalhaes was naturally paired with what's his name? The other Gabriel. What's his name? The other player that's on injury. That plays the right fullback.
Right fullback. I'm trying to.
What's his name? That guy has an injury right now. So if Gabriel Magalhaes was with him, playing when Saliba left, there would have been less pressure. But bringing some new guys who were able to play defense with him, and they put everybody party. So it became difficult. Gabriel Magalhaes was given so much, and he got injured. And so those, an injury and a red card. So when Saliba came back, he was alone. He couldn't manage. So Mikel has to do something about the squad depth when it comes to the defense. Because the defense has always been our major strength. But our defense is in place. Other players can play. And you see, what Pep Guardiola is going through right now is what we are going through. Pep Guardiola has about almost up to 8 players, regular team players who are on injury list. Arsenal has the same.
But you've got deeper squad depth. Manchester United faced this last season, but nobody looked at it as a factor.
Because Manchester United wasn't playing Champions League. Because we have more leagues. So we are playing the Carabao Cup, playing Champions League, playing the English Premier League.
Not part of a competition.
Well, they play, of course, they play Europa League, but you see, the timing. I don't know if they wouldn't play Carabao Cup at that time. So, but when we're going to talk about Arsenal right now, Arsenal are going to injury issues, and the injury issues are the ones affecting the club right now. And the Edu's news also, it came at the wrong time. So, but you see, November has always been the challenge. But I can tell you, this boys will bounce back. Right. Even though they are 7 points behind Liverpool, I see something coming up by the end of December.
All right, we've got the next talking point has to do with Mikel Arteta, who slammed the 2 penalty decisions against Arsenal, saying they were wrong decisions. So do you agree with Arteta that those decisions were wrong?
Well, the second penalty was wrong for me, but you see, there's nothing you can do. You can only protest. The decision will be. That's why the VAR has to be up and running, because some of these things has to be you go back to rewatch it and know what the truth is. VAR came to rescue us from these same challenges, and I just hope that we're able to take it in good faith. That's sportsmanship. When such things happen, you take it in good faith and plan for the next. That's why this round robin play in the Champions League is done very different. So whatever you cannot get from this club, you get from the other club. We had a good run of form in the Champions League. Only until this time we've lost. So I think we can do better by the time we get to December.
All right, let's wish the Gunners the very best of luck. Let's move to the Saudi Pro League, and we're talking about the man called Neymar. About Saudi Pro League is the kicker there. Let's let you know that Neymar reportedly faces being asked by the Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal in January amid the Brazilian star's continued injury problems. The 32-year-old returned for Al Hilal last month following a year-long absence after tearing his ACL in his left knee while playing for Brazil last October. Neymar suffered a setback to his comeback on Monday, having been forced off 29 minutes after coming on as a substitute in Al Hilal's Asian Champions League win over Esteghlal. The former Barcelona and PSG star has sought to play down injury concerns by suggesting it was a cramp on his right thigh, but Brazilian reports have claimed he could be sidelined for at least 3 weeks. Let's look at Al Hilal and Neymar. Would you say the club is a little bit unlucky that Neymar has been in and under the knife? Or do you think it's just Neymar's body not carry him and probably he should be time off for football?
I don't think Neymar is done yet for football. Neymar has not finished. He has a bundle of talent. I believe that perhaps maybe the Saudi League is not really good for him.
The Saudi Pro League.
I think he should change. He should take off course and come back to either come back to England or go back to France.
But it's expected that league should be less demanding.
Less demanding, but perhaps the environment may not be. When you play with people who can play, you play better. But you play people who cannot play football, your game drops. So when he comes to a community like Barcelona, he will sit up. And the Barcelona environment, everything around that fits him. That's where he cut his teeth. So he should come back and resume his career, because when he was going to the Ahela, a lot of people advised him not to go, because you don't have a competitive kind of league like that, or people to challenge you. So, but since he went there, you see that his career has been nosediving. So I will expect he retreats his steps, get back to the Barcelona league or get back to the Spanish league, and get his career back on track. That's when he can be. It's unfortunate he having a lot of injuries lately, and it's not good for him because I have been paying him salaries, doing nothing. He spent 1 year at home training his ACL, and now in just 29 minutes, he was taken out of the game. And so management will not be happy about that. But what I hope is that he can take a break in January, go back to Spain, recuperate, get his career back again after a new club. Because I mean, Spain is his home, France is his home. He has not played in England before, but I hope that if he gets back to Spain, he can be able to revive his career.
All right, let's go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, we'll still look at Mikel Arteta. Our fans are saying he should have been sent off in that game against Inter Milan for handling the ball. That and other big stories is what we'll share after this quick break. Stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
Welcome back. It's still Talk Sport. We have to go on a quick break for some technical issues, and we're glad to be back. We've got more stories. Just to let you know that every player who has played in the Champions League can remember his debut in the competition, and Tyrone Mings will recall his for making a once-in-a-lifetime mistake back only recently after more than a year out due to his serious knee injuries. Mings made a sort of error usually delivered by a primary school kid in a yard at lunchtime. Early in the second half, Aston Villa were awarded a goal kick. Emil Martinez placed the ball in his 6-yard box and passed a short pass to Mings. Believing the ball was not yet live, Mings decided to pick up the ball in his hands before passing it back to the goalkeeper. Both men were stunned to see referee Tobias Stieler march forward and point to the spot. Clearly, it was a penalty. Who does that? The goalkeeper passes the ball to you, catch the ball, and don't you think we have to hold the coach, Unai Emery responsible? A man who has been out for 1 year from the game, you bring him in a Champions League match. Obviously, he's rusty, mentally and otherwise.
Honestly, that's a major schoolboy error. Honestly, schoolboy, you don't do that. I mean, the Champions League is the king of all leagues and all games in the world. How could you do that? I mean, where is your leg? You're not playing basketball. Why carry the ball? Because you're going to carry the ball with his hands at any time in the pitch.
Pass to you, for God's sake.
Even as a short pass, like he said, pass the ball to the outright, the left wing, and the right winger. Why do you come with your hand? I mean, no. It will be annals of history that he came back from injury and combination to a schoolboy error. In fact, that could cost him his place in the team. Because I mean, why would you do that? Why would give a goal to the opponent in a platter of gold?
And this is the first time they are losing after a long stretch of
victory. No. When he come back with goodwill, he should be rested for a while. We play him in Carabao Cup or play him in until he's back to form. Yes, mentally.
All right, let's take you to Spain, where French champion, talking about Paris Saint-Germain, face a battle to automatically qualify from the Champions League group phase following a dramatic late defeat to Atletico Madrid. Luis Enrique's side fell to the 25th minute in the standings outside the position required to even participate in the playoff after their second defeat in the competition this time. Substitute Angel Correa scored with the last kick of the game to snatch a 2-1 victory for Diego Simone's side in the French capital on Wednesday night. They too came into the tie needing a result to kickstart their campaign. The home side had taken the lead with Warren Zaire Emery's opener, but his effort was cancelled out just 4 minutes later by Molina as the tie looked to be pestering towards a stalemate. PSG failed to convert a number of promising chances throughout the night and were ultimately made to pay for their profligacy with Correa's who struck late on. Let's look at Paris Saint-Germain. Do you think there's a cause on Paris Saint-Germain? Despite the money they spend, and now they've got to top class coaching, Luis Enrique, do you think they're still suffering the exit of Kylian Mbappe?
Well, I don't think they're suffering the exit of Kylian Mbappe. I believe Luis Enrique is trying to, he's building something that is taking a lot of time. I believe they should give him some time. Luis Enrique's exploit in Barcelona was top notch, and he's not a wishy-washy coach. So Paris Saint-Germain should be patient with him the way they were patient with Guardiola in Man City. So allow him some time because he's trying to evolve. The Parisians have not been at their best form lately. They lost to Arsenal. Yeah, now they're losing to Atletico Madrid. So it's not good for them. But I believe the last matches are coming up very soon, before the playoffs come in. He'll be able to bounce back. But on the whole, Luis Enrique is a good coach, and they're at the top of the league with around 4 points. Monaco is about the second or third club behind them. So this will give them some time to build something formidable, and I believe that they will get a deployment from Kylian Mbappe. Before they were touted to be looking for Seaman, because but then Mbappe had to go. So they need to build their squad around themselves, not to build them around Mbappe. The team was built around Mbappe. So since Mbappe left, they're not getting any hero to stand or enter the shoes of Mbappe. So they are playing for themselves, which is better. Play the team game, and so it will take a while, maybe a season for them to really evolve. And I believe to give them more time, Luis Enrique will do very well.
Just 1 minute, I need one more conversation on this. Real Madrid have been slammed by Spanish media after slipping to a shock 3-1 defeat to AC Milan. Even the future of Carlo Ancelotti is in doubt. What do you think is playing out in
I mean, I believe the Real Madrid squad, they have won everything. So the motivation is not there as it was to be. They've won the Champions League back to back. They've won everything to be won. So that killer instinct has not come. Sometimes clubs sneak into some level of like that slumber. But as we allow Enrique, as we allow Carlo Ancelotti, if they struggle with him, they will go drastically down. Carlo Ancelotti has a way of bouncing back. Yes.
All right, that's how we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. I want to say thank you to Gabriel Batistuta Obi for helping us look at all the big stories making the rounds, and for his very daring analysis of all the talking points from the Super Eagles up to the Galacticos Real Madrid. My name is Anthony Momodu, the King of Sports, saying thank you for being part of a sports biggest show, talking about Talk Sport on Global Television.